Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome back to another behind-the-scenes video. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been really supporting me with these behind-the-scenes videos. When I started doing them, I wasn't sure whether anyone would watch them or whether they'd be really boring, but yeah, there's been quite a lot of people watching them, and reading the comments, I can see that the people that do watch them really enjoy them, so thank you for watching. Anyway, with that out of the way, I'm designing something new. So I'm designing a dojo today, and a dojo is something that I probably came up with the idea to do one probably about a year and a half ago, and there's been several times when I've come to try and work out what the idea is, but there's never been a twist. Like, I knew I could make it look cool because, like, old-fashioned Japanese architecture just looks cool, and I know it would stand out compared to everything else in my town. So I knew I had that going for it, but I didn't know what to build in it. Like, because a dojo is basically it's mainly just the ground that people use to practice karate on or whatever. So I didn't really have a twist or something special. Like, everything I build, I always try to, especially the things in the town, I either try and build it in a special, unique style or have some kind of twist or something that I can teach, to go along with it. And I hadn't worked it out. But last night, I kind of had an idea for, like, a machine for training in the dojo. So let me kind of show you what I mean. And this is my first time kind of testing this out, so we'll see how this goes together. But they often have those things where they're kind of punching like a model of like a person to kind of train their karate moves or whatever. I had the idea of doing that, but rather than just punching an armor stand, it to be like a game where armor gets fired onto an armor stand, then you need to punch it away quickly. Then I thought it could be like 3 armor stands like this, and then like a helmet gets on this one, you got to punch it, and then like trousers on that one, you got to punch it, and you're kind of doing that to train your reactions, which I thought would be just pretty fun and perfectly for a dojo, and give me a chance to kind of build something new and teach something rather than just making a cool looking building. So let's see how the redstone's going to work. So the thing I've been struggling with while I've been thinking about this is how is it going to work in terms of the redstone? Because I know I can make it so the redstone works, so it basically fires stuff onto the armor stand, but like it really needs to be random. And there's a few ways I could do it random. One way is to have like an animal, which is like walking around on pressure plates. That's a really good way to make things random. I'm sure there's something I could do with the redstone. The problem is, though, is if it's already got a helmet on, I want to make sure that another helmet doesn't fire out until one's broken away. And I don't think there's really any way for me to be able to kind of program that. So that's kind of the thing that's been messing me up. So I think it might have to be a case where there's more than one person. So someone is kind of controlling where which dispensers are firing when. So it's kind of like a team thing. Someone's kind of, your sparring partner is the one pressing the buttons, and then you're the one that's knocking the things off. So this redstone is a little bit difficult. It's like the, I can't remember the name of it. What's the mini game with the giant star? Like I can't remember what it's called, but the one where you got to remember armor. It's bad that I can't remember my own game. I'm sure most of you know what it is, but it's kind of like that, but I can't even remember how I did that. Well, let me try and find that game, and let me see how I did the redstone there, because that might make this a whole bunch easier. So I can't really tell by the map. What's the game called? It's like literally there's oh, there we go. Here it is. Oh, is it Fashion Sense? Is that what it's called? I think it's called Fashion Sense. I don't even think there's even a sign for the name here. So let's see. Has this version got the redstone done? I think it does. So let's go to this side, because this is where the water isn't, and let's see what the redstone looks like on this game, because it's kind of the same thing. So there's a lot more dispensers on this one. So they're kind of surrounding the thing. Okay, so I don't think I would be able to do it all in one solid row. So let's just kind of do like an overall test and just see what it's like punching it off. So let's kind of do it more in that style then. So the top and bottom ones, they're fine. Then we can have one dispenser facing this way, like that. Like that, there we go. And then one facing the other way, so it's like this. Yep, there we go. And now I can just do a simple trail of redstone leading to one. So I might be able to make this more compact once I kind of work it out a bit more, but this is a very early test just to kind of see the overall concept. So redstone going there, and there. So let's just go and fill these full of random armor. Let's go and fill this top one full of these helmets. And I think these will be leather armor eventually, but let's just throw any old armor in for now. We can have some diamond. Oh no, this needs to be chest plates. We can go and throw this into here like this. And then down here, let's go and do some leather armor. I'd probably go and dye it as well. I guess it would kind of make sense it being just normal leather armor because it'd be kind of the same color as the armor stand. Then again, it might be easier to see if it is like a brighter colored one. But then here we go. We can have some little boots down there like that. So the floor would be here. So you would be kind of level with it. So you would be kind of standing here looking at something like this. I'm sure I could make it look a little bit nicer. So let's just go and if I just throw some buttons on these, I guess I can just put them on the dispensers for now. And then, there needs to be one for the floor. So that should do the floor one if I have it like that. There we go. So that does the floor one like that. So let's set it to survival, because otherwise I'm just going to keep breaking the armor stand. And let's see. Oh, okay. This is why we do tests. So can you not... Oh, maybe you don't punch it off. Maybe you just need to take it off, because I thought you could punch... Oh, I just put the boots on. I thought you could punch it off, but you can't. It just destroys the entire armor stand. This might have thrown quite a big spanner into the work. So I guess we could do it so you just switch it on. So say like that came on, I go like pow, and then just grab it. It's not the same though. It's not quite as cool as if you were punching it off. Unless it is a case of it fires all of the armor on, and then when it does, you then have to punch and destroy it. But that's definitely not as cool as I hoped it would be. But maybe grabbing it off would be an okay way to do it, because you're still kind of reacting in the same way, and you do have to look at the specific armor. Like if I look up here, I'm pressing left trigger now. Look, listen, I'm pressing left trigger and it's not doing anything. So it would still work, but it's not quite as cool. Like the idea was you're supposed to be punching it rather than just taking the clothes off it. So yeah, let me redesign this and see if I can make this look a little bit neater. And then maybe I can set up kind of a rough automatic test, and just to see how fun it is and how well it works. If it doesn't work, maybe I should just scrap it, and maybe I should give up on my dojo for another time. But yeah, let's see how this works out. Hello, welcome back. I've done a little bit of playing around, and I realized that I think I was trying to... I automatically try and confuse things. Like this is the way things normally work. Because I come with an idea, and then I make it way too complicated, and then I gradually try and make it simpler and simpler and simpler until I think it's kind of ready to be put. And so I immediately started going redstone, 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 and if I link these up and make this crazy mess, and I was like, oh, I don't want to build that in a video. No one wants to watch that. So I kind of simplified it to this. And basically all this is two armor stands in position there, completely surrounded by dispensers, and around the back here, there's just buttons. So no redstone whatsoever. Basically, let's say I'll put boot and a hat on that one. And I haven't actually tested this yet. So let's try chest plate and leggings on this one. And then if I go to the other side, there we go. You can see that is now what's on the armor stands. The reason I did it like this is originally I had it more... I didn't really ever show you, but kind of heading like you're like facing, let me kind of show you like this. And the problem with this is because you're pressing left trigger now rather than punching, I don't want you ever pressing left trigger on the dispenser, because if you do press left trigger on the dispenser, then you're going to open the dispenser, and then that's going to ruin your flow if you're trying to grab something and then you accidentally go here. So this way, you can kind of stand here, and then there's kind of just the wall behind you anyway, so you shouldn't accidentally... open the dispenser or anything. So it's a bit of a shame that I couldn't do it the way I wanted it to be, with kind of punching things off. It is going to be kind of grabbing things off instead of punching them. Like, it's exactly the same. You're just pressing the left trigger rather than the right trigger. But just because it's the karate theme, where you kind of want to go like pow, like that. But instead it's, you're just grabbing things off. I just thought you could punch armor off for some reason. I don't know why. But I think it still works fine. So that's kind of this part done. So what I think I'm going to do is... I'm not going to use these colors, don't worry. This was just me making it simple when I'm building. My dojo isn't going to look like this, but I think this could basically be the back wall, or possibly one of the side walls of the dojo. I want the front to be quite open. I want it to not necessarily just have a normal door. I want it to be, I don't know whether it's windows or kind of like a big open area. So this can kind of be hidden at the back. So there'd be someone back here going like this, basically pressing the buttons. I kind of had this all hidden because like this could have been open here. Like this wouldn't have made any difference. But I don't want you to be able to watch the person, because if you see him look up like this, you're probably going to guess that there's going to be a helmet showing up on that side. So that might be a back wall, but I'm thinking of maybe doing like other training things. So there could be like a balance training thing. We could have a little mini parkour thing with some fences, and maybe you need to try and jump your way. Maybe you need to make your way across these blindfolded, you know, because you need to be at one with I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know, maybe there's something like this and I need to close my eyes and try and jump across like this. And then there could even be, I don't know, almost like this, but with redstone lamps that are lighting up. I don't really want to use any bow and arrow stuff. So yeah, maybe there could be 3 different training areas. One for this, one for the balance, and then I just need to think what else the other one could be. Like the other one could just even be like a meditation area or something. It could just be like a beanbag or something. Like I kind of like the idea of having like a funny twist for the final one. So yeah, I think I'll work them out first. So before really starting to nail down the shape of the buildings, I think that's going to take a while, because it's going to be quite a unique shape, because it is in such a different style from really anything I've built. The only thing close might be the sushi restaurant in my Funland, but I'm sure I can make it look better than that, because I built that thing ages ago. So yeah, let's kind of work out what those 3 training areas are going to be, and we can do mock-up versions of all of them, and then we can work out just how big we need this dojo to be, and start working out some of the style on the outside of it. Right, I think I've made some pretty decent progress. So I worked out the parkour section, so I'm pretty happy with this, how this is going to be. Obviously, I just need to work out the colors of the walls, because it doesn't look much like a dojo and it's looking like that, does it? But that's pretty much fine. And then I like this for the parkour. So it probably doesn't look much like traditional parkour. It's pretty small, pretty simple, but I think it'll be relatively difficult because you have to do it blindfolded. So the idea is there's 2 levels. So this one here with the dark oak, this is the easy level, and you have to go boom, 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 jump across, and then go down, down, down like that. And then once you've mastered that, you go on this one where you go jump, jump here. The reason why it's much more difficult is you then have to turn 90 degrees blindfolded, and then go down this way, once again turn 90 degrees. You basically need to start and end on these half slabs. Doesn't matter which way you go. So I had a little practice doing this one blindfolded, and I almost made it. I once made it like here, and then I once made it there. Let me just have another go now. So I'm going to shut my eyes. You're just going to have to take my word for it, I guess. So up, forward, then up, forward, crouch on this one, and then jump, crouch. And this is the tricky part. I don't know where I've landed. So if I just crouch and go to the edge, and go down, and crouch, go to the edge, and down. Is that it? Oh, no, I didn't make the jump. So yeah, you can see even this simple one, it's so simple. But yeah, you need to practice the ways in order to be able to do it. So I haven't worked out the, I think I'm going to call it like the Zen Zone or something, the chill out place. I'm going to do that once I've designed the rest of the area and I can see how much space I have. I was thinking of maybe doing a small garden, like a little pond or something, but I think that might look silly on the inside, so we'll work that out. But I have done a bit of experimenting with the exterior. So, like, I've been looking at pictures of dojos, and it's so hard because the thing they all have is basically this pattern where they have like white squares, and these are basically like kind of like blinds, I guess, like windows that let the light through, but you can't see through. But they're like tiny little squares. They're like teeny. Like there would be, you know, if I did it to scale, then this would have to be like tiny, and it's like doing it like that, you can kind of see the star, but it doesn't look right. Basically, what we would need in order to do it is this texture. This texture would be perfect if I could have that on the walls. If I could do that, that would look like these kind of blinds, and it would look perfect. But sadly, you can only do them on the floor. You can't even stack them, so I couldn't even use the side of them. So that's annoying. I still think I'm going to use these, but sadly, I can't use them for the walls. And then I had the idea of using redstone lamps, and I like the look of this in general. Didn't mean to make a hole there. I like the look of that, but it doesn't scream dojo, and I think that's because it needs the white in there, and there's no white. So this is my favorite so far. This is probably the height it would be. It's going to be pretty tall, by the way, because there's going to be like multiple different tiers of roofs on the way up. So I like this. Like, I think that looks more I think that stands out more as obviously being a dojo, but I think once we have the roof, it'll be obvious what it is, and it's quite interesting using redstone lamps just for the texture rather than, you know, as a light source. Like none of these are going to be lit. It's just because it looks quite cool. So I quite like that. And this is actually probably going to be the size it's going to be. The area I'm building it in probably is 16 blocks along. It's basically next to Hat Trick. And so I can go as wide as I want, but going back, it can only go 16 blocks. This is 15 blocks, but the roof is going to be overhanging a bit. So I wouldn't really want to bring it right up to 16 or 17 blocks along. So it's probably going to be about this size. So I'm probably going to have these as the side walls. And then, I guess these could be 3 walls in that style. And then I think maybe the front I could have as being slightly different. So I don't really have a huge amount of room here, but let's go and play around a little bit with this then. So let's say that's the front, that side. And so this is this should be 13 blocks along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then it should go to this here. And let me just go and make sure that I did that right. And then everything fits in. And then, yeah, I can do kind of the rough outline. Because I got to remember, because on the inside, there's going to be the kind of the behind the scenes almost area where they're going to be pressing the buttons for that training thing. So I want to kind of just get a good idea of how big the space is going to be on the inside. So let's kind of just make this as a square, and let's just kind of see how big this area is, because if it's not big enough, then I might just have to build it somewhere else in my lovely world. I mean, the only other place that I could obviously build it now without kind of terraforming and starting a new area would be next to the laugh out loud place, or the laugh on logs, sorry, place. But the problem with that is that's built with a lot of dark wood as well, and I'm kind of worried that this would end up looking too similar. So, you know, that's probably a pretty nice area here, because I don't need a huge amount of empty floor on the inside. Like, that was kind of the goal, but oh no, wrong thing. That's what I meant to do. Yeah, I don't need a huge amount of area. So this back wall would probably be about here. And then this is the amount of room that you'd have on the inside. Then we'd have our little parkour area down here, and then our Zen area here. I think that would be fine. I think this is just about big enough, and the whole place is going to look bigger just by how tall the ceiling is. So I'm going to build up the rest of these walls, work out the design of the front, and then I'm going to start worrying about the roof, which is actually going to be... The roof is normally one of the things I think of last and kind of just throw something in. But for this one, the roof is going to be kind of everything, because there's quite complicated, fancy looking roofs in a lot of the old style Japanese architecture. So we're going to have to see what I come up with there. And then the front of the area. And then, you know what? We're not actually getting too far from having our dojo, to be fair. This is turning out to, so far, being much easier than I expected. So I'm going to work on the roof now. I'm probably going to end up using these just because I really want to use them. And I haven't really used them much for decoration in the past. So let me work out this a little bit further, and I'll bring you back in and I'll show you what I've come up with.